Hello everyone and welcome to part 1 of the Tamiya XV-02 Rally car kit build. In this video series we're going to walk you through the entire build process of this car with tips and tricks along the way. But before we do, we need to chat a bit about the tools you'll need to make the build process a smooth and enjoyable experience. While it is possible to build the car with the tools included with the kit, we suggest a quality set of tools for both build and maintenance for this car and any future vehicles you may purchase. Here is our list of suggested tools. The links to each can be found in the description below. This is also a good time to pass through the manual to get an idea of how the car goes together. Okay, let's get started. The first order of business is to get bag A opened and the parts organized to make them easy to find during the build. The XV-02 chassis is quite the unique piece of plastic. Take a mental note of the front and rear. You'll need to know which end is which in this video. Tamiya suggests gluing these little lock nuts in place. I chose to just hold them with my finger during assembly so I could easily remove them in the event I ever needed to change the chassis. Build a pair of steering turnbuckles. To make this process easier, check out our CompetitionX ball cup building tool. Link is in the description. Pay close attention during the steering build. The steering parts are very angular, and there's only one correct way to install the ball studs. Here's an example of installing the steering arms in the correct orientation. Note the bosses circled in red, and don't over tighten these. The arms should swing freely once assembled. Note the red arrow in the diagram. When installing the turnbuckles, this side should face the left side of the car. Steering complete. Take a moment to make sure everything swings freely. If not, I suggest disassembling and rebuilding it. The XV-02 comes with two sets of diff gears to overdrive or underdrive the front or rear of the car. For this build, we'll be building with a 39-tooth setup on both ends of the car. I suggest adding some grease to the blue O-rings to help them seal the diff. For times like this, I always use CoWRC's Udder Butter Super Waterproof Grease. Check the diagram for a tip on how to line up the crosspin during installation. A little udder butter on the satellite gear helps keep it in place during diff assembly. And yet another trick. Add a dab of black grease to help keep the gasket in place during assembly. Assemble the rear diff just like the front. Add a little bit of diff fluid at this point to let it settle in the nooks and crannies before installing the sun gears. More udder butter to help keep the parts glued together. Trust me on this one, it's a bit of a pain without the grease. Drop the sun gear assembly into the diff case and, while holding it in place, rotate the outdrive to make sure all the gears sync up. Now fill the diff case with fluid up to the top of the satellite gear cross piece. Set the diff half aside to let the fluid settle. Once the fluid has settled for a few minutes, refill to the top of the satellite gear cross piece if necessary before final assembly. When installing the diff screws, insert about halfway, then tighten gradually and in equal amounts. Follow the same build procedure for the rear diff. That wraps up part 1 of the XV-02 Pro Rally Kit build. We appreciate you following along, and we hope you gained some valuable info from this video. In the next installment, we assemble the suspension and center drivetrain. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified of future videos in this series. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the rally course.